you want to come right up to the front of your chair. Folks at home, if you want to have your shoes off, you can do that, folks here. Just be mindful when we do get up, you can certainly keep your shoes off, but the floor might be a little slippery, so I just want you to be aware of that. So have your feet right underneath your knees, and then just kind of bring your weight forward, kind of lean forward a little bit, and notice what that feels like in your back, your shoulders, your neck. And then lean back a little bit, and notice what that feels like in the front. And then just kind of go back and forth a little bit until you can find that balance right in the middle. So you're not leaning forward and you're not leaning back. And it feels like your shoulders, I often talk about this, that your shoulders are right above your hips. So instead of being your shoulders being forward like this or back behind you or kind of slouched in this position, the shoulders are right above the hips. And then imagine your head kind of like a water balloon. And that water balloon is just perched right on top of your shoulder. So there's this sense of ease in your body. We don't have to sit up really straight and kind of create more tension in the body. We just allow it to be where it is. And then once you've got your sort of a flavor for the body this morning, notice your breathing. Notice the way the air is moving in and out. If you can breathe in and out through your nose, I know it's a little difficult, especially if you have a mask on. And notice if one side of your nose feels a little more open than the other. Notice the temperature of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And then gradually begin to deepen your breath so that as you inhale, it takes a little bit longer. If you can pull that air way down into the lower part of your lungs. And as you exhale, it also takes a little bit longer, so the air comes out a little bit more slowly. Deepening the breath so that as you breathe in, you fill your body from the bottom to the top. And as you breathe out, you're letting the air out from the top to the bottom. And as you're watching your breath, notice if there's more tension in your body. See if you can relax that tension in your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your hands and arms. Breathing in, let's add a count to the breath. So as you breathe in, see if you can count to 4. And as you breathe out, also count to 4. And let it be a nice, long, slow count. Breathing in to 4 and out to 4. Inhaling to 4 and exhaling to 4. Do one more cycle of breathing into 4 and out to 4. And after that exhalation to the count of 4, go back to your natural breath. So don't worry about breathing more deeply. You can let go of the counting. It's all about the air just moving in and out. And take a deep breath in, let it out with a sigh. Let your eyes open. Take your arms up overhead and stretch your body. Stretch through the right side and the left side. And then bring your arms down to about shoulder height, and let's push that right arm forward and pull the left arm back and twist a little bit here. And then same thing on the other side, so getting a little bit of a twist. Again, it's like a nice stretch here this morning. So pushing one arm forward, pulling the other arm back, twisting from your waist all the way up if you can. How about just one more time? Once on the right and once on the left. Great, and then coming back sort of to stillness. Let's roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down a couple of times. Now, the last time we were together, we did a lot of work with the lower body, and we got very little with the upper body. So I'd like to try and bring in a little bit more of the upper body today. So we're going to take the arms out to the sides and bring the palms up, and reach out through the fingers and lengthen the palms of the hands, right? So oftentimes the fingers stay in this sort of flexed position, and the tissue in the palms gets a little bit tight. So really spread the fingers wide and reach them out. And breathing in and breathing out, we're going to tap the shoulders and extend. Now, it doesn't matter. You don't have to like exhale when you bend your elbows or inhale when you bend your elbows. Let's keep the breath smooth and steady. And then the next time that you tap your shoulders, instead of going out to the sides, we're going to go up overhead. And let's do that up overhead a few times. So just kind of lifting, keeping the fingers spread nice and wide as you do this, right? So the tendency is to let the fingers kind of curl a little bit. And then the next time you tap your shoulders, we're going to go out to the side. And then we're going to go up overhead. And breathe. So we're going out and up. Yeah, excellent. A few more times. Breathing in and breathing out. Great. And how about last time we're going to go out to the side, and last time we're going to go up overhead, and then hands on the shoulders, and we're going to rotate the arms like we're doing a little kayaking movement. So we get some movement here in the shoulders. Now the shoulders might be a little noisy. You might hear some crunching or crackling in there, and that's pretty normal. And reverse direction. So if you're kayaking in one direction, go the other way. I have one shoulder that's super noisy, and the other one is pretty quiet. So I'm not quite sure why that is. All right. And then let's relax the hands away from the shoulders. We're going to take the right arm and sweep it up and around. So we're doing a nice big circle here. And as you're sweeping your arm, twist your body. So when the arm comes forward, twist to the left, and when the arm comes back, twist to the right. And you can do that with your head as well, or you can keep your head facing forward if it makes you a little dizzy or a little lightheaded to do that. The next time that your arm is down toward the floor, you're going to switch direction and go the other way. And the reason to switch when the arm is down toward the floor is because your shoulder joint, it's a little safer for the shoulder joint to switch direction when it's in that position as opposed to up here overhead. So just a couple more. And then we're going to switch sides. And last one, let's bring that hand right to the left, and let's go to the left. Same thing. So you can twist your whole body. Get a little bit of movement here at the waist. Right. And if you can't get your arm way up overhead, that's okay. Just do the best you can. Great. And the next time that your arm is down toward the floor, reverse direction. We're going to go around the other way. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Just really warming up these joints. Excellent. How about 2 more rotations? We can do that. Just 2 more. And then that hand comes down to the left. Good. Okay, so sitting up close to the edge of your chair, if you've kind of scooted back a little bit, have your feet right underneath your knees, and keeping the spine up nice and tall. So remember, the shoulders are aligned with the hips, and then the head is sort of like a little water balloon hanging out on top of the shoulders here. You don't want to have that rigid posture, but you want to be up straight. As you're breathing in and out, we're going to kick the right foot, and then we're going to kick the left foot. And we're just going to go back and forth like this. So as you're kicking, when you come all the way out, give the muscles here a little bit of an extra squeeze, right? Good. Now notice, as you're lifting and kicking, are you leaning to one side? So when you go to one side, are you leaning in the opposite direction? Or can you keep that nice posture with the shoulders above the hips and the head on top of the shoulders? And while you're doing all of that, how's your breathing? If you can breathe smoothly and easily. Now, if you have a low back issue or you've got a shoulder issue, it might be helpful to just kind of hold on to the chair. Give a little support there. Next time your right leg is out, right leg, hold out. Lift the toes toward the shin a little bit more. And then we're going to point and flex the foot in this lifted position. So the muscles here are working really strong, really hard. Breathing in and breathing out. Might be a little harder to breathe in and out while you're holding here. If this is just too much, you can always bring your heel to the floor and do it that way. But we're going to see if we can do a couple more of these. Great. And then we're just going to bring that foot right back down to the floor. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So extend that leg, point and flex. Keep the muscles here nice and strong. So we're keeping the knee straight. When you keep your knee really straight, you have to engage these quadriceps muscles to do that. And we're working the muscles in the lower part of the leg at the same time. So there's a whole lot happening here. So a couple more breaths. Yeah, that leg is saying, a lot. Great. And then let's bring that foot back down to the floor. Excellent. So let's lift the feet now. And we're going to use the heels and toes and walk the feet out and then walk them back. I'm sorry, I'm a little squeaky up here. So we're walking out and walking back. Just getting some movement in the ankles, in the knees, in the hips. Okay, a couple more. Excellent. And then we'll come back to center. Scoot your backside over to the right side of your chair once you're there. Okay, so you're still facing forward. Now, I like to hold on to the left side just so that I know where I'm at. So we're going to imagine there's a little bit of a wall here on the outside of that right foot, maybe like 6 inches, 8 inches tall. And without leaning to the left side, we're going to lift the right leg up and go over the wall and down. So breathing in and breathing out, and we're coming back over the wall. So we're just simply lifting up and over the wall, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Couple more. Excellent. And the next time we're out to the side, let's hang out there. And now we're going to use that little whirly motion with the foot. We're going to walk that foot way back. And see if you can get to a position where your right knee and your left knee are as far apart as they can be, and your body is oriented in the same direction as the left knee. What's going to happen is your body, especially if you're tight on the inside of your leg, your body is going to want to go in the direction of that right leg. See if you can keep it aligned with the left. Okay, so we're right here. Now, engaging the muscles in the outside of this right hip. Imagine pulling this right knee toward the back wall. All right, can you do that? Good. And then let's bring it forward. And then pull the knee toward the back wall and bring it forward. And breathe. So pulling that knee toward the back wall, keeping the body oriented to the left knee. And the next time that you pull that knee toward the back wall, you're going to hold here and breathe. So you're holding that knee, pulling it toward the back wall. Your spine is nice and tall and lengthened. And then we're going to take the right elbow and forearm, come right down onto that right thigh. So still pull that knee toward the back wall. Take your left arm as you breathe in, bring that arm way up overhead. Now inhale and exhale as you reach up toward the ceiling. Get really long and lengthened through the left side. Keep pulling your right knee toward the wall behind you. Keep breathing in and out slowly. Gently. Good. One more. And then we're going to come all the way up We're going to take this right leg now, extend it out, have your heel on the floor and your toes lifted toward your shin. So the toes are lifted straight up toward the ceiling. The muscles here in the top part of that thigh are really strong. That means the knee is as straight as it'll go. Now, for some people, the knee is going to be absolutely straight. For other people, there might be a little bit of a bend in there, and that's okay. So you're just kind of working with what you've got in terms of extension in that leg. So we're going to take the right hand and slide it down to the right knee. Your body is still oriented toward your left leg. Yeah, so we tend to kind of curl in that direction a little bit. Now, see if you can take your left arm out to the side and up overhead as we lean into the right side and slide the right hand down toward your right foot. And then come all the way up and bring that hand. Let it tap the chair. And we're just going to breathe in and out as we do this. Now, this is a little too much for the shoulder. So for some of us, that shoulder does not like the arm going up overhead. You can simply lift the elbow. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can always have your hand on your hip. You can have it up on your waist. Right? So this is just about leaning into that right side. Good. We're going to do one more time, leaning into the right side. Wonderful. And then come all the way up. Okay, take hold of your chair on that left side. Point your right toes. So get them down toward the floor. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lean into the left side. So you're going to bend your left elbow. Take your right arm, up past your ear toward that left side. And then come all the way up. So keep the leg extended, the toes pointed. And as we breathe in and out, we're leaning into that left side and then coming back up. Leaning into the left side and coming back up. Good. Two more of these. Excellent. So we're getting a nice stretch through the side of the body this morning. All right. And now we're just going to release and relax that. Now bend this knee. Walk your foot back around. Let's scoot right over to the left side of the chair. So we get over to the left side of the chair. Feet underneath the knees, sitting up nice and tall. You might have a hand here on the right side of the chair. And imagine a little wall over here on the left side now, maybe 6 or 8 inches. And without leaning, as we lift that leg, we're going to keep the body upright, lift the leg up and over the wall and bring it down. So just lifting up and over and bringing it down. So you've got some belly muscles that are working. You've got some hip muscles that are working. You've got some leg muscles that are working. So we're getting a nice multi-dimensional workout here for the core of the body. The core is anything along this central axis. It can be the pelvic floor, it can be the abdominal muscles, it can be the hip muscles, glutes, some of your back muscles are core muscles. I would say your fingers are not your core muscles. Wrists, maybe not so much. Okay, next time your foot is out to the left side, we're going to hold it here and then use your heel and your toe and walk that foot out a little bit more. So you've got your right knee and your left knee as far away from each other as they can go. Your body now is oriented toward that right leg. Now, for a lot of us, this is going to take a little effort. I can tell you from my experience, it takes effort for me to be here because I would much rather be here. My body is saying, this is no effort here. I got to really work at that. So now looking at, focusing on the muscles on the outside of that left hip, we're going to engage the muscles in that left hip like we're pulling this knee toward the back wall. So you guys are going in that direction. So pull the knee toward the back wall and then relax and let it come forward. And pull the knee toward the back wall, relax and come forward. So we're just going to do this a few times, noticing the breath. Letting your breath be nice and long and slow. There we are. Okay. Last time, we're going to pull that knee toward the back and hold and breathe. So remembering again that the shoulders are on top of the hips and the head is kind of perched on top of the neck there. We're going to take the right, the other right would be the left. So take the left elbow down onto that left thigh. Good. And then let's see if we can bring that right arm all the way up. Let's reach it up overhead and towards the ceiling and reach, 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 and breathe. So holding here as we breathe. So you've got some weight in this arm, right? So let's pull that down and come up. Let's go back over to that side again. It's going to come all the way up. We'll do that just a couple of times. Great. And one more time, we're going to hold this for a little bit of a breath. So holding here, reaching, lifting, and lengthening. Feel the side of the waist, the side of the body opening up a little bit more. Keep pulling that knee toward the back wall, so don't forget that little tidbit. And don't forget your breathing. Everybody's looking good. Great. And then we're going to lower this all the way down. Now extend that left leg. Have your heel on the floor. And have your toes reaching up toward the ceiling. Okay, so the muscles in the top of the thigh here are really actively working, right? Now remember, your body is going to want to drift in this leftward position. So it's going to take some effort to keep the body in this more forward-facing position. Take your left hand, let it rest down your leg, and then we're going to lean into that left side as we sweep the right arm up. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Good. So we're just going to be doing this movement a little bit here. So make a nice big arc with your arm if that feels comfortable. You can also simply lift the elbow, or you can have the hand resting on the hip or on the side of the waist. So we're just working with what we've got, right? And it can be very different from side to side. So how about this last time we go over and we hold for just a breath or two. Breathing in, breathing out. Excellent. And then let's come all the way up. You're going to take that hand, place it on the chair, point your left foot. So you've got your toes reaching toward the floor, maybe not on the floor, but at least toward the floor. And then as we bend this right elbow, we're going to sweep the left arm up past the ear. So can you feel that stretch from your toes all the way out to your fingers? So that's sort of the angle of stretch that we want. Anywhere from those left toes all the way up to those left fingers. Could be in the hip, could be in the leg, the arm, the shoulder, the fingers. Could be in the toes themselves. Next time we come up and over, let's hold here for just a breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Doing the best you can. Excellent. And then we'll come all the way back. Great. Let's bend that knee. A little wiggle walk as we come right around to the front of the chair. Okay. Feet a little wider than your hips. Hands resting on your thighs with your fingers facing in toward the insides of your knee. Now we're going to just bend forward, come as far forward as you can. And then we're going to come as far back as you can, right before your feet come up off the floor, right? And then we're going to come forward. So try not to lift your chin toward the ceiling because that shortens the back of the neck, right? So we just want to make sure we're leaning back far enough with the body that we're challenging, again, this core. So it's a central part of the body. It's getting a little bit of a work here. So just a couple more of these. Great. Excellent. How about one more forward and back? Okay, beautiful. And then we'll just kind of come back to a neutral position. Let's do one more thing before we come up to standing. We're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left. Now, knee on top of knee, I know does not work for everybody, and that's okay. So if this doesn't work for you, you can cross ankle on top of ankle. So what we're going to do here is squeeze the inner thighs together. And as you squeeze your inner thighs together, feel your body get a little bit taller. As you're squeezing those inner thighs, and again, this works just fine with the ankle crossed on top of the ankle. With those inner thighs really squeezed together, we're going to come as far forward as we can. Keep squeezing the inner thighs and come as far forward as you can. Breathing in and breathing out. Now, if it's comfortable, take your right arm, extend it forward. Reach, reach, reach as far forward as you can, as if you could reach me way up here. Keep squeezing the inner thighs. Keep breathing. And then slowly come all the way up. Good. Let's uncross the legs and across the other way. So same thing. You can do knee on top of knee, or you can do ankle on top of ankle. Squeezing the inner thighs together, get nice and tall in your chair. And then lean forward. So as you lean forward, take your left arm, reach it out, as if you could reach right up to me. Breathing in and breathing out. And one more breath. Great. And slowly come all the way up. Excellent. Swing back a little bit. We're going to uncross the legs. Okay, let's just come up on the toes a little bit. Get things ready for standing. So if you want to put your shoes on, you can do that now. If you'd rather keep your shoes off, you can do that as well. So we're simply going to come forward. Now I know now why I'm so hot. I have my scarf on. Huh. Okay. So to get up from the chair, we've been working with this for several weeks now. It's important just to change your intention of things, right? So when we think about getting up, we think about pushing up into gravity. But it's helpful to come forward. And when you come forward, just shift your weight like you're coming all the way forward off the chair and then coming up to standing. So I like to have my heels a little bit behind my knees. That actually gives me a little more purchase on the floor when I come up to standing. So you can have your hands here, or if you'd like, you can extend your arms out like we did when we were bending forward. So if I lean forward, I'll lean forward. If you extend your arms like you're going to reach, get your butt right up off the chair, and then come up to standing. Okay? Beautiful. Okay, let's get a little bit closer to the chair. We're going to squat. So come down, know where your chair is. Shift your weight into your heels. And then see if you can slowly sit without flopping. Great. Okay, we're going to come forward again and do this movement. So with your feet a little wider than your hips, coming right up to the front of your chair, have your heels a little bit behind your knees. That's helpful. And then we're going to lean forward. Now you can keep your hands on your thighs and push your hands into your thighs if you need a little bit more support in coming up. Or take your arms forward, shift your weight into your feet, come right up off the chair, and then come up to standing. Awesome job, you guys. All right, so we're going to stay standing now, so come around to the back of your chair. Okay, so from the back of your chair, I'm going to move just a little bit this way. Okay, so from the back of your chair, let's just check in with how we're standing in our feet right now. So I want you to just notice. You don't have to change anything, but just notice how you're standing. Notice where you feel the weight of your body. It might be in your heels, it might be in your toes, it might be on the outside edges of your feet, the inside edges of your feet. Notice what your knees feel like and your hips. And does this feel normal to you? Right? So is this your normal posture? Or are you already doing something different just because you're in yoga class? And I've already called your attention to how you're standing, so that changes things a little bit as well. Okay, so now look down at your feet and see if you can orient your feet as if you had skis on, that the skis would be straight, right? So if, I'm going to move this out of the way, I think the Zoom folks can see. So if I was standing with my feet like this, if I've got skis on, I'm going to do a natural split with my body going down the hill. Same thing if I've got my feet turned in a little bit, and I've got skis on, I'm going to kind of snowplow down the hill. So we want to have the feet so that they're facing forward. All right. So with your feet facing forward now, shift your weight a little more into your heels. And this is where I'm just kind of holding on to the back of the chair, at least having that orientation is helpful. So for those of us with sneakers on, I've got my sneakers on here today as well. So we're not getting the full benefit as if we had on bare feet, because even like a low profile, there's still a little bit of lift in the heel. Am I cutting out? Okay, sorry guys. So there's still a little bit of a lift in the heel, so that it's going to try and pitch me forward into my toes more than into my heels. So if you're in your sneakers, if you're in shoes, you've got to push down a little bit more into the heels. Whereas if you're in stocking feet or barefoot, you'll be able to feel that a little more naturally. So as you're pressing into your heels, press into the outer edges of your feet, and then into the bottoms of your toes. Now engage the muscles in the inside of your legs, from your shins to your calves, all the way up to your thighs, and lift up on your arches. You get a sense of lifting up on your arches? One way to do that is to pull your belly in a little bit. You don't realize this. Your feet and your belly are connected. It's if you pull up on the arches, you're pulling up, lifting up on the navel area. Now notice your breath. Your breathing might have changed. Okay. Okay. All right. So now for here, again, thinking about the hips and the shoulders, and a nice alignment right over the heels. Breathing up, breathing up. I'm losing this, you guys. Notice if there's more weight in the right foot or the left foot. Okay. And now, can you come up on the toes of your right foot without shifting your entire body over to the left? Breathing in and breathing out. So pressing down into that left foot. And then bring the right foot down to the floor. You can do the same thing. Now shift into the right foot. Come up on the toes of the left. So you got more weight in that right foot. And then let's bring that foot all the way back down. Let's do that one more time. So just shift the weight into the left side. Breathe out. And then shift the weight back into the right side. Excellent. Okay. So let's relax all that. Shake out your legs one at a time. All right. And then let's do a little bit of work for the hips and the glutes. These are really important muscles. Your glutes and your outer hips, really important muscles for walking, for being able to get up and down stairs and up and down off the curb. So bring your feet a little wider than your hips. Let's shift the weight into the left leg. You're going to take the right leg out to the side. Keep your toes facing forward as you do this. So the tendency is to bring the toes up like this. You want to bring the toes forward. And then bring your leg back down. And up and down. Slow and steady. All right, so try to go as slowly as you can. Try not to use momentum. Great. Okay. Let's bring that foot down to the floor. We're going to shift the weight into the right leg and then lift the left leg out to the side and down. And out to the side and down. Couple more. Great. Remember the toes are facing forward, so don't let that foot angle out to the side. And all the way down. Great. Okay, so for the back of the body, we've done this before. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. So still standing here near your chair, you're going to take your right leg, extend it up behind, and just come up on the big toe on that right foot. And we're going to squeeze the muscles here, right in the middle of the glutes. We're going to lift the toe up off the floor and down. Try not to lean forward. Try not to lean heavily into your chair. Can you do this and hold your chair with just 2 fingers? Ooh, it's a little harder that way, yeah? There's some balance in there, too. Just a couple more. So we're working the glutes. Okay, and then slowly bring that foot back down. Let's go to the other side. So take that left foot out. Big toe on the floor. Press down into that right foot and then slowly lift and lower. So again, right in the middle of the buttocks on that side, we're really engaging those muscles. See if you can have a real light touch on your chair. So that means you're not relying on your chair with your upper body to do a lot of the work. Good. Okay. Okay. And one more. And down. Good. All right. Let's check out those legs one at a time here. How are we doing? Okay. So let's do a little bit of just a little bit of a squat before we move into a couple of warrior poses. So with your feet a little wider than your hips, we're going to bend the knees like we're going to sit back, and you better not because there's nothing back there. And then we're going to come all the way up. Right? And coming down and up. Good. And having the hands on the chair is just a good way to make sure you maintain your balance. You don't have to have a lot of weight in there at all. Good. And go down only as low as your legs will permit you to, right? You don't have to squat really deeply. Just one more. I'm just going to come down and then up. Beautiful. Okay. Excellent. So from here now, I'm going to stand up really close to my chair. And then I'm going to take the left foot. I'm going to step the left foot way back as far as it'll go. And see if you can get the heel down to the floor as you bend your right knee. Right? Now, if your heel doesn't quite make it to the floor, that's okay. You can slide that foot in a little bit. So here we are with the front knee bent. I'm just going to move my chair off to the side a little bit. So the front knee is bent. The back knee is straight. Everybody doing okay with that? I can see you around the corner. All right, so now what we're going to do, excuse me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that left arm, and as you inhale, raise the left arm up overhead, reach up through that left side, and as you exhale, bring the arm down. All right, so breathing in, we're going to lift that arm up, get nice and straight through that left side, and breathing out, the arm comes down. Let's do this 2 more times, breathing in and out. And last time, breathe in and out. Great. So let's come up on the toes of the back foot and straighten that front knee a little bit, and then step your left foot forward, step your right foot back. So get the heel onto the floor as you bend your left knee. So you can reposition that foot a little bit if you'd like. We're going to do the opposite arm this time. So as you breathe in, I'm going to slide my foot down here. As you breathe in, you're going to raise your right arm up, straighten that right leg, and then bring it all the way down. Breathing in as the arm comes up. Breathing out as the arm comes down. So a couple times with this. So breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. And last time, we're going to breathe in as we raise the arm up. Breathe out as we lower the arm down. Come up on the toes of the back foot and step that back foot forward. Take out legs one at a time here. All right, and then to work with a little bit of balance. So you're all familiar with the tree pose, I think, at this point, right? Okay, so with the tree pose, again, I want to have my feet a little, maybe a tad wider than my hips, because I'm going to be shifting the weight from one side to the other. So let's start by shifting the weight into the right leg. As you shift the weight into your right leg, think about more weight in your heels, more weight in the outer edge and the bottoms of the toes. Holding on to your chair, not with a desk grip, and holding on to your chair lightly. We're going to come up on the toes of the left foot. Breathe in, breathe out, get tall through that right side. And then see if you can turn your foot, your left foot that is, so that the heel is on the inside of the right leg or the ankle. So it's like you're pulling this left knee toward the wall behind you. It's similar to what we did when we were seated and had to pull that knee toward the back wall. Breathe in, breathe out. Get tall through the whole body. Great. So Two things. Can you slide your foot up the inside of your leg so you're actually standing just on one foot? If that does not feel comfortable, if it feels like it's a little shaky, bring the toe right back down to the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. To make it a little harder, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, take one hand off your chair. Bring it out to the side. Breathing in, breathing out. If you're super challenged, if you want a super challenge this morning, see if you can take the other hand off the chair, if it's just for a moment. And breathe. I forgot to say that, but you have to keep breathing. Good. And then we're going to lower that arm all the way down. Bring the weight back into that leg. Let's shake out the right leg a little bit. The right leg has just been doing a lot of work, a lot of stabilizing here. So what tends to happen, and I didn't address this in the first side, but so I'll take a minute now before we move into the second side. When we're doing something that requires some concentration and that's stressful to the body, so standing on one leg is stressful to the body, what happens is we tend to hold our breath. So just know that that's a really normal part of this. So reminding yourself to breathe while you're doing this is really helpful. So with your feet a little wider than hip width distance, you're going to shift the weight now into the left leg. Press into the heel a little bit more, the outer edge of the foot and into the bottom of the toes. Come up on the toes of the right foot. Great, breathe. I'm going to mention this a few times because I didn't mention it last time. And then let's see if we can turn the legs so that we've got the heel of that right foot pressing into the inside of the left leg. So we're engaging muscles on the outside of this right hip, like we're trying to pull that knee toward the wall behind us. So we're pulling the knee toward the wall behind us, getting really tall to that left side of your body. And then let's see, can we slide this foot up the inside of the leg a little bit? Breathing in, breathing out. Great. And how about if we take the other hand off the chair? So whichever hand you took off the chair before, take the other one on. Breathe in, breathe out. I don't know which one you used before. If you don't know, switch. Just go back and forth. Breathe as you attempt maybe to take the other hand off the chair, even if it's just for a moment. It's a lot. Now, we'll work with this more. And then bring the hand back down. Bring the foot to the floor, shake out that leg a little bit. So the tree pose is it's one of the best poses I find for helping us create some balance because it requires the muscles in the feet, the ankles, the knee, the legs, the hips, requires all of those muscles to work together to hold you up. And you can practice this. I love practicing this when brushing my feet. You can stand right at the sink, because usually the sink is a good height, kind of balance, have your hands on there. And you're brushing with one hand, so you don't even realize. So what is it, like 2 minutes or something? Push for 2 minutes, and do a minute on one side, do a minute on the other side, and see what happens. The other thing I'll say about balance, I've been doing yoga for a really long time now, and my balance always changes. It hasn't gotten linearly better. There are some days when my balance is and then there are some days when my balance is pretty good. So a lot of things contribute to our balance. One is our eyesight. So what we're able to focus on, what our vision is like. The other can be anything from how much sleep you've had to how much water you have had to drink, if you've had anything to eat, what's your mental state? If you're feeling kind of happy and uplifted, it's a lot easier to balance than when you feel kind of a bit down, and sometimes it helps you down. Okay, so come around to the front of the chair, and you're going to have the feet a little wider than the hips, and the backs of the knees really close to the chair. Now, what I'd like to do today, we've been practicing our squats, right? Has anybody been practicing these at home? Yeah? Oh, good. All right. So today we're going to amp it up a little bit. So we're going to do taps, right? So instead of simply squatting and then kind of holding and then coming up, we're going to come down as far as we can, close to the chair. If you can tap the chair, and then come back up. All right? So whenever you're ready, have your feet a little wider than your hips. You can have your hands on your thighs. You can have your arms out in front. You can have them together, breathing in and breathing out. All right? Good. So we're just coming down, kind of tapping the chair, and then coming back up. Now, if you can't tap the chair, if that's like too low for you with your knee or with your hip, that's okay. Just come down as far as you can, and then come back up. So when you come up, I want you to really engage these muscles, straighten the legs, real strong. Can we do 3 more? This is a lot. We've already done about 30. So 3 more, that's nothing, right? All right. Okay, on this last one, you're going to come down, get to your tap point, hold here, and breathe. Okay. Shift your weight to your heels a little bit. And then see if you can sit down. Ooh, okay, let's give those thighs a bit of a massage here. So, I know I talk about this a lot, your quadriceps muscles, the 4 muscles here in the front part of your thighs. They make the difference in how much you're going to be able to get around. You know, getting up and down stairs, getting in and out of the car, on and off the chair, anything that allows you to have freedom and independence in your life. So if you've ever had a knee injury, or you've ever had knee surgery, and you know, been immobilized for, say, a period of time, even if it's just like a couple of weeks, if you're immobilized, you lose the muscle tone really quickly in your thighs. And without that, it's really challenging to get back to your normal way of life. So doing these kinds of things on a regular basis, daily, is really important. So I would say, along with stretching the 6 movements of the spine, coming forward and back, going side to side, doing our twisting, those are the 6 movements of the spine. Along with that, squatting every day should be part of your routine. Okay, y'all feeling okay? You look a little worn out. This was a lot for not having met last week, right? Okay, so get comfortable in your chair. You can slide back into your chair if you want, or you can stay seated at the front edge. We're going to do a little meditation here, and I'm going to turn these lights down. So get yourself comfortable and close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, with your eyes closed, begin to notice your breath. Notice how the air is moving in and out of your body. And now we're going to take a little trip inside the body. So as you breathe in, see if you can follow the breath in through your nostrils. It's like you're riding in on the breath. You're flying into your own nostrils and you're seeing what's there. So in the nostrils, you see all these little finger-like protuberances. They're called cilia. They kind of look like little hairs, but they're a little more robust than the hairs. And as you're breathing in, as you're traveling up through your own nose, you're seeing all these little cilia. And this is what filters out all the stuff in the air as you breathe in. And then you get through your nose down into the back of your throat. And as you come into the back of your throat, see if you can see the back of your tongue and your tonsils, if you still have them, or the place where they used to be. And look at your throat. Look at the tube of your throat as you go down into the lungs. So again, you're traveling inside your own body and you're visualizing this. This is where the air is moving in and out of your body every day. So as you come down the tube of your trachea, you start to enter into the lungs. So you can take a left or a right, whatever you like. Going off into the lung of your choice. The passageway gets a little more narrow now. So you move from that nice wide tube of the trachea, moving into the lungs, into the bronchials. And as you travel through the little bronchials, you come out to an even narrower passageway. Looks almost like a little bit of a dead end. On the end of these bronchials are the alveoli, which are like little, they're like little trees. And you're small enough, you're traveling small enough into your body that you're able to travel into these little trees, these little alveoli, the branches, the far branches of your lung. And now you're even more tiny. And as you get into the alveoli, again, the air is still moving in and out of your body. You move from the alveoli, you see the bloodstream. And you jump right into that bloodstream. And you're moving along with your blood. And you can see all the red blood cells here carrying oxygen to all parts of your body. And you're riding along on these blood cells. And as you make your journey, perhaps you travel all the way to your fingers, or maybe you travel as far as your kidneys. Maybe you're even going up to your brain. So you're just riding along in the current of your bloodstream. And you're noticing all these red blood cells delivering oxygen, so like the mailman delivering packages. And there's a pickup that's happening too. So we're picking up some carbon dioxide molecules. And as you're continuing to breathe in and out, as you're traveling inside your own body, riding the wave of your bloodstream, you start to return to your lungs. So you're coming back from wherever you were, from your toes or your fingers, from your kidneys or your brain, wherever that travel took you, you're headed back now to the lungs. And you're traveling back with carbon dioxide molecules, which are just cells that have used up all their oxygen. They've already delivered their payload to where they need to be, and now these cells have picked up some carbon dioxide and they're bringing it back to the lungs. So as you come back up to the lungs, you get a little bit closer to those alveoli. You can see the little trees in the distance. And the bloodstream delivers you right up to the alveoli. And you jump out of the bloodstream, go back into the little trees. And from those little alveoli, from those small branches, we go up into the bronchials. And then you make your way from your bronchials into your trachea, so we're back into that main tube. And you want to go up, not down, because we're not going into the belly. So you go up through the trachea. As you're traveling up, you go by the mouth, so you go by the back of the tongue, the throat. Go up into the nasal passages. Out through the nasal passages, all the little cilia there. And back out into the world. And that is the journey that your breath makes every time you inhale and exhale. Every breath in is an adventure. Every breath out is a return home. Take your right hand and place it at the center of your heart. And then cover your right hand with your left. Take in a deep breath and let it out with a sigh. And then if you'd like, maybe taking a moment in gratitude to yourself for your wisdom, your light, your compassion, and eternal beauty. And we are all eternally beautiful. And then perhaps opening your eyes and just acknowledging that light, compassion, wisdom, and beauty in all of these and all the faces you can see at home as well. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll see you all here next week, hopefully. Yeah. All right. Great. You're welcome.